Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to review the first fantasy book of 2024 for me, and that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Now, yeah, this is the first fantasy book. I think I haven't done any other fantasy review yet in 2024. I have been reading a lot of thrillers. So yeah, this will be the first fantasy book. So what is Red Rising about? Red Rising is a science fiction novel, and it is dystopian. A lot of people compare it to Hunger Games, which I have no idea about because I haven't read or watched Hunger Games. So I don't know who the hell Katniss is. So don't talk to me about Katniss because I don't know who she is. I know that it's played on screen by, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence. That's all I know about Hunger Games. But it did definitely give me a lot of the Flies vibe. Definitely, it's all about, this battle royale kind of a setup where you would do anything to survive, and the last man or the woman standing, takes the prize, wins the crown. And you can reach there by hook and crook. This setup, like I said, it's a dystopian setup. It's far into the future, almost like 800 years into the future, and human beings have left Earth because Earth is unlivable. So the main center, or what do you call that, the anchor of human beings, is the moon, Luna, and our hero Darot is from Mars. This society, basically, which is settled in Mars, it is divided into several stratas, basically a kind of a caste system, which is based on birth, the highest being gold and the lowest being the red, and the reds are oppressed and they, kind of like slaves. They are slaves. So basically this is a heavily stratified, hierarchical system, social system, which cannot be broken. Those who are born in the lower station, they have to live their life and serve the higher ups. And our hero Darot is from the red community, red caste. Darot is basically on a mission where he wants to break this oppressive cycle of this caste system. This world is brutal. Like, it's almost like Lord of the Flies. I don't know any other references where maybe what is that Korean series that everyone were talking about? What is that Korean series that everyone was hyping about? What was that? Not Money Heist. Money Heist is Spanish. The Korean one when everybody is getting killed in the game show. Ash, what's that Korean show where everybody is getting killed and all that? Like, what is that? Squid Game. Squid Game, yeah. So somewhat like that. I haven't watched Squid Game because I got so squeamish watching the first episode of Squid Game and I stopped. It was too brutal for me. And this world is also almost like that. A lot of brutality and violence. There's a lot of sexual aggression as well. So beware of that. It's kind of a trigger warning for you guys. But it did not bother me because when the author wants to set up a world which is brutal, I think, and when there is war involved, sexual aggression is kind of expected. And if he doesn't do that, it would feel that it's not realistic, because in real life also, if you see wars and battles, apart from killing and pillaging, raping is the next thing, right? So it goes without saying. So in that way, it was realistic for him to include these acts of sexual violence into the story. For me, I feel that this is not a character-driven story, even though we are seeing it from the perspective of Darot. We mostly hear his inner monologues, how he sees the world, how the whole what do you call that, unraveling of the events we see from his perspective. But still, I wouldn't call it a character-driven story. It's a plot-driven story. And so considering that, the character work Pierce Brown has done is really great, because there were several characters with whom I became quite attached to. For me, the number one character apart from Darot is Severo. Severo is just just crazy amazing. Then we have a character called Cassius, whose relationship with Darot is very complicated. I was kind of worried for Darot at some point because there is something in which Darot does, which was inevitable. He was asked to do it. He couldn't have not done it, but he ends up doing it, and then because of that, his relationship with Cassius is kind of strained. Talking about tense moments, great plot twist, this guy, Pierce Brown, really delivers. I was kind of bored in the first part of the book, but it was okay because it was still building the story up, the world up for us. So that's why the author took his time. But part 4 and the later part of part 3 were my favorite in the book. So much happening, and I was literally worried for Darot, even though I know that he will have because he's the main character, he cannot just die. So that's kind of a plot armor, and I knew. There's one problem that I have with the book, and that is that I was kind of confused with the book. Yes, the author has explained it. There is this terrain, there is this fortress, jungle and forest and all that, and it's terraformed on Mars, but still I was kind of finding it difficult to keep track of what's happening. But later on I did get, okay, this is how the world looks like, and the map really helped as well. My biggest problem with this book is the fact that it read more as a fantasy book rather than a science fiction book, because I was expecting advanced technology and laser beams and whatnot. I don't know. The fights and the wars and the battles that played out were using archaic weapons, right? This is 800 years into the future, so they're still using sticks and stone and very archaic contraptions of cannon and all those kind of things, and cutting off water, etc. And it felt very primitive acts of warfare as opposed to a science fiction warfare, and that's my biggest problem with this. But in itself, it was great. If you accept the fact that, okay, this is going to be fought like an archaic warfare, once you have accepted that in your mind, then the plot is great. But because we are going in expecting a great science fiction book, I wasn't expecting this. Writing was so good. It was simple, it was easy to follow, and the main thing about writing which I really loved is that there is no or very minimal exposition. So there are some very technical terms, words that are very specific to this world that the author has created. It's like graph words that from the way it is coined, the term is coined, and the way the device itself is used. In that context, you can figure out that, okay, this is this. So there are no in your face expositions, and I think that's the reason why this book is not a door stopper, I think, and it's very concise, and most of the times it's to the point. So overall, I like this book. I didn't love it as such, but I definitely enjoyed it. There were low points and high points in this book for me, like I discussed, and but the good news is that I know from a lot of fellow book lovers that the series only gets better. This is the weakest book in the series, and if this is the weakest book in the series, I'm really looking forward to the rest of the book. At least the first trilogy I want to read, The Golden Sun and The Morning Star. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. I think I'll read the second book in March and then in April. So back to back. That's my plan right now, because I really enjoyed this, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy the other two more, because the other two are more true to this science fiction genre is what I hear, and there is this the story and the plot goes all over the solar system, and I'm hoping to see more technology. Oh, and wait a second, before I wrap up, did I mention how cute Pierce Brown is? that was motivation enough for me to pick this book up and read. Like, okay, I want to read what this beautiful person has written. So that was my review of Red Rising. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also share and comment, and also subscribe to my channel. I'll be back soon with another video. Until then, this is Angie signing off. Bye bye.